Hi students, how are you? I am Amit sir again to discuss the civics topic. So I hope all you are fine. You know, or also we are also very much aware that our West Bengal is going through different type of problems. One already was Corona. Now we have faced a big problem, that is Amphan. Because of that, a huge devastation has taken place. So we have to be very much strong enough to fight this type of problems, but side by side we have to also concentrate to our studies. That is why again I have brought this video for you, civics chapter number 2, that I was discussing. Today also I will discuss one topic, that is how federalism is practiced in India. Last day we had discussed that how the power is shared in our constitution, because power sharing is the basic idea of federalism. And we know in India we have adopted the federal character, although federalism word is not written in the constitution, as you already have told you. In the place of federalism it is written India is a union of state, but still Indian government has given full importance in federalism, and wherever required, as much possible, we have accepted the federal character. So for the federal character, one part is that power sharing. So last day we have discussed about this power sharing, how is power shared among different organs of the government, among different levels of the government. So now we will discuss the next chapter, next part, next topic, that is how federalism is practiced in other aspects, that we will see. So stay with me, and every day I tell, today also I will tell that see the video. Although you know for civics we cannot show you different type of slides because very limited slides are available. So for this chapter there is no such slides available. That is why I have made these points in my computer. One by one point I will discuss, and after discussion, if you listen properly, if you go through after that your books properly, so the chapter will be clear. And I have kept some questions for you also, important questions, that also you can follow. So wait and see the video till the last. Now see friends, again I have written over here civics chapter number 2, federalism, and today's topic is practice of federalism in India. So how federalism is practiced in India, in what aspects federalism is practiced in India, that we will see. How the Indian government has created the federal character, that we will see. But one thing we have to keep in mind, that only federalism is written in, that federal characters written in the constitution, that is why only we are following the federalism. It is not that, because Indian people, we have understood the importance of federalism. We have understood how much facilities we get from federalism. That is why since independence still we are having federalism with us. So here we will discuss the different aspects. First aspect is that linguistic states. First of all, we will see in India on what basis the states have been formed. As I told you, federalism already, all the time the Indian leaders have given the importance of federalism. All the time Indian leaders have given the importance to the local needs, the want of the local people, so that we can easily make the country a federal one. So linguistic states, you know, already I have written at first 14 states and 6 union territories were formed on the basis of language. Now the question comes, why the Indian leaders have tried to make the country or divide the country after independence on the basis of language? You see, try to understand. So after independence, the Indian leaders, they did not want to make the country or divide the country on the basis of language. There were 565 small princely states, and to unify the states, that princely states, and to make a unified country was the big task. So that time many decisions were to be taken. So Indian leaders before independence, they had decided, they had promised to the people of the country that when India will get freedom, the territory of India will be divided on the basis of language. But after independence, the Indian leaders saw a huge devastation, a huge bloodshed, violence because of the partition of the country. So after independence, the Indian leaders, they thought that they should not take the risk of making the country divided on the basis of language once again, because they feared, they got scared that if we divide the country on the basis of language, again there can be violence. Why violence? Suppose if the state Bengal is formed, for example, on the basis of the Bengali language speaking people, so the people, those who are non-Bengali or those who are not talking in Bengali, they may be thrown out from the state, they may be, they may face the violence in the state. That is why Indian leaders, they never wanted to take risk. But when this news spread that Indian government leaders are not going to take the risk of making the country or divide the country on the basis of language, so from South India a huge protest came, and there was a leader named Potti Siramolu of Andhra Pradesh, nowadays Andhra Pradesh. He went for fast unto death protest, and because of that, after 54 days of fasting, he died. And when he died, from South India a huge protest came towards the Indian government, and then Indian government had to make the division of the country on the basis of language. So ultimately, on the basis of language, the states were formed. So first 14 states were formed, and the first state that was formed on the basis of language was Andhra Pradesh in 1953. Clear? Then 1953, the Indian government set up one commission. Its name was States Reorganization Commission, to find out that whether India could be divided on the basis of language or not. So State Reorganization Commission, they gave their report in 1956, and again India was divided on the basis of language. So first 14 states were formed and 6 union territories were formed on the basis of language. So why we have made the country on the basis of language? Because we never wanted our federal structure to be disintegrated. We never wanted that one group of people should be unhappy. That is why when this protest came from South India, the leaders of the country, the leaders at that time of the country, they compromised and they made the country on the basis of language. So it proves that yes, in India we have always tried to make the division or to make the country a federal one, because federal country means all the time you have to give importance to the federal units, and that already we have done. And after that, some of the states also have been formed on the basis of culture, ethnicity, geographical proximity, like that. But first states were formed on the basis of language. I want to mean that on the basis of language, the formation of state means we have given importance to the local needs. Then friends, we will see regarding the language policy, what type of federal character, what type of importance we have given. See, first of all, Indian leaders, they wanted to make Hindi as a national language. But whenever they wanted to make Hindi as a national language, from South India, huge protest generated. The South Indian people told that if Hindi becomes a national language, they will not join the Indian Union. So, because of the importance of the federal character, because the Indian leaders wanted to make India as a federal country, they stepped back of its proposal, and they made Hindi as the main official language. So there is no national language in India. Second, to uphold the federal character of the country, 21 other languages has been recognized as scheduled language by the Constitution of India. In 8th schedule, there are 21 languages at present which have been recognized as a scheduled language. So there is no way to think that other languages have not been given importance. So this also proves that Indian leaders have adopted federal character. Okay, next, cautious attitude in spreading the use of Hindi. It was told that the Indian leaders decided that they may try to spread the Hindi languages, but they will never impose Hindi on anyone. If the people of India, they like Hindi, they can accept, but no Hindi language will be imposed to any of the people, like Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, they have tried to impose the Buddhist language as Sinhala language, and that is why you have seen what type of problems have generated in Sri Lanka. But in India, we have not tried to impose any language on anyone. Okay, we have tried to spread Hindi, we have tried to propagate Hindi, but never tried to impose Hindi on anyone. It is up to the people of the country. So next point is that use of English. So it was also decided after independence, the use of English will be stopped in 1965, but it was not done. Why? Again, from South India, the South Indian people, they told that they do not know Hindi. Okay, so how they can communicate with the other people? So they asked the Indian leaders, the Indian government, to continue English as the communicative language. So accordingly, English has been adopted in our constitution as the main communicative language, so that the people of India can communicate among themselves. Because as you know, Hindi is not spoken all over the country, and as well as Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, these languages are also not spoken all over the country. So there should be one communicative language, and that is why English has been taken as the communicative language. So this language policy also proved that in India we have adopted the federal character. We have always given the importance to the regional governments. We have always given importance to the regional demand. That is why we have successfully made one federal government, federal structure. Now the third aspect, friends, you see center-state relation. It is also one big aspect of the federal character of the country. So if the center-state relation is good, or if the center-state is properly having their interaction, so it proves that the federal character of the country is properly working. So you see, I have written few points. You can note down the points by pausing the video. Okay, so and after that you read the chapter one by one points I am discussing also. See how the constitutional arrangements for sharing of power work in reality depends to a large extent on center-state relation. So how the constitutional arrangement of power sharing, okay, is working, that is depicted by the center-state relation. So for a long time in India, the same party ruled both at the center and most of the states, so that state government did not exercise their rights as autonomous federal units. It is also correct. In India, you know, for a long time in the central government Congress party was there, and in the state governments also Congress party was there. So that is why the center-state relation was not that much visible, because whatever decision were coming from the central government, the state government followed that. So there was one mutual understanding. So there was not that much of visibility of the federal character. Now you see, when ruling party in the states were different, the parties ruled at the center often tried to undermine the power of the states. So it is also quite natural. When in the central government the different party was there, and in the state government also different party was there. So many a time we have seen the centrist party or central party have tried to dominate the state parties. That is also a big problem in India we have faced, but it also proves that in India federal structure is there. And last point, after 1990s, what you know, after 1990s the time of coalition government emerged in India. Coalition government means it was not possible for one or two big parties to form the government. That time the big parties had to take the help of the regional parties, small parties, to form the government. And that time we have seen that these regional parties or state parties got importance in the central government, because the big parties like Congress or BJP or like that, they had to take help from the regional parties to form the government. Automatically the regional politics also got importance in the center. So in that way, that time we can see from the time of the coalition government, center-state relation became a bit better. So this center-state relation also proves that in India we have the federal character. Power sharing is properly working. So now we will go for some questions to discuss. I hope all you have understood. So please see the video from the first, and I hope these things will be clear to you. And after that, yes, don't forget to read the chapter also. With these points, if you read the chapter, everything will be clear. So 3 questions I have made. You see, See, 3 questions may be important from here. First of all, small question, one small answer may be there. How many languages have been taken as scheduled languages in our Indian Constitution? That answer you can write. Next question I have made, write about the center-state relation in India since independence. Here also you can make 5 points, because in board exam one thing you keep in mind, all the answers you try to write in the points. Okay, so if 5 marks, 5 points, 3 marks, minimum 3 points. And third question, you see what I have given, write about the language policy of India. So language policy also you have to write in 5 points. And I hope you have understood the topic properly. So don't forget to give me the feedback, see my video and try to read the chapter. Thank you very much. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay home. Thank you.